Hello everyone, it's Marlene Wyminga. This is the second time I've pressed the button. Wanted to do Flosstube for a long time. Yeah, just didn't really know the ins and outs and buts about it as far as getting it set up. So went through the whole thing and then, yeah, it definitely didn't look right. So here's my second attempt. Like I said, I'm Marlene Wyminga. I'm Pastime Pieces. Basically, I'm a quilt shop that specializes in wool applique, and we've just dedicated a large section of our shop to cross stitch, and definitely heading in that direction. I've always cross stitched. I probably started when I was before high school, anyways, and cross stitched a lot, and then took a break and yeah, back into cross stitch again. I think I've done every craft there is, and I have a tub in the basement to prove that. Where am I? I am in Blenheim, Ontario, Canada. I am tucked down in between the Great Lakes. We're close to Lake Erie, southwestern Ontario. We're about an hour from the Detroit border, so not too far that way. Yeah, so joining some of the other fellow Canadian floss tubers. Situation Normal, Kathleen, she was helping me a bit. What am I doing wrong as far as the floss tube goes? So I've always kind of watched her. Off the Grid Needle Arts, also in Ontario. I'm actually going to be vending at a retreat that she's putting on. It's Evertote is her other company, and then Off the Grid Needle Arts. Flosstube, she's having a Stitch North retreat, so we'll be meeting with 260 cross stitchers from across Canada, and I think several are coming from the US as well. I was a dental hygienist for like over 30 years. When my boss retired and sold the practice to someone else, it just wasn't the same anymore. And I thought, okay, this is my time that I'm finished as well. So I've always had a quilt shop for about 12 years. 6 of those years I did in my house part time while I was working, and then we built a 2-story barn as our shop on our property about 6 years ago. And I love it. I love the high ceilings. It's nice to display things. And it's definitely a destination place. I looked at opening a shop uptown, but I just didn't, yeah, I didn't want to get into dealing with landlords and rent and issues and things with that way. So my husband says, okay, let's build something here. So he designed it, and my son, who worked for a construction company at that time, did most of the building. So I will show you pictures of it at sometime, or you can go on my website. So I am Pastime Pieces on my website. I have, and I'm on Facebook. I try to do a Facebook Live every other week. That's as far as the quilt and wool applique go. And then I have a private Facebook group called the Pastime Stitchers. And I will put this in the information below, so if you want to check it out. So I will be showing my projects that I've made just in the last, 6 months. I will show you with time if the floss tube goes okay and everything. I will do floss tube more often, and I will show you some previous finishes that I've done, and then I will intermix some other charts and stuff that go along with some of the projects that I made that you can purchase in my shop. If there's a chart that you like, or threads, fabric, just let me know, and I will try my best to get it for you and ship it to you. I'm hoping that this will make it a little bit easier for some of the Canadian Ontario customers, so to avoid shipping and duty and all that kind of thing too. So yeah, let's get started. So let's do some fully finished, and I'm going to be mixing it up here because some of the things just kind of work together. I have it all organized, everything around me, but it will become disorganized. That's just the way I roll. So first I finished for Valentine's Day, and I had shown on my Pastime Stitchers. I'll try not to get the glare. So this is Heart and Hand, their bird and hand in the Valentine's Day. And I hadn't fully finished it yet, but I did fully finish it into a pillow. And this one has like, it's a little pocket here, so you can actually put in a little Valentine in there. I used some rickrack trim here. Oh yeah, I just realized that there's a little heart charm that comes with the pattern that goes in there. I chose my fabric first because I knew it was going to be a pocket and it was going to show on the front, and then I just kind of matched the threads. I did use most of the called for threads because that's just the color, but I think I changed the pink a little bit because I wanted to match my fabric. Sometimes it's easier to buy, like, especially depending on what kind of finish you're doing, pick the fabric first because like there's like a million, well, not a million, there's a lot of floss, DMC especially, that it's much easier to match the floss to the fabric than it is to match the fabric to the floss. So yeah, so that's just kind of one hint there. I do carry the rickrack. This is the Lori Holt Be in My Bonnet rickrack. This one I think is called Frosting. And then this one is called Cottage. And then there's also Pumpkin and different ones. So I'll show you a finish that I did with that one as well. So Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. This is the Snowball book that has the different patterns. So I did this one here, the snow. That was the first time that I've worked on 36 count. Well, it's not the first time I've worked on 36 count, but it's the first time I've worked on 36 count that I only used one thread over two. I found it quite thin, that it's, and then especially the white not quite showing up a whole lot. So it's a really subtle finish. I mean, I certainly like working with the one thread, but I think for me, I like the texture of a little bit more thickness of the thread. So, and I don't mind doing 2 over 2. I cross stitch in hand. That's how I learned, and I'm really thankful I did because I find I can go so much faster. When I first started watching Flosstube, and I thought, oh my goodness, like, you don't use a hoop for a cross stitch, like, you just don't. And then I realized, like, oh, I guess most people, or not most people, but a lot of people do. I did not know that, you know, like, I know for hand embroidery and different things, yeah, I use a hoop, but I did not know that anybody used a hoop or Q-snaps for cross stitch. I just assumed that everybody did it in hand. Yeah, I just liked doing cross stitch in hand. I've tried the Q-snaps because I thought, oh, let me give it a whirl, and no, it's just too slow for me. So yeah, so this one I use the rickrack, the other rickrack. It shows up way bluer than what it is. Just some plain fabric on the back. I stitch my pillows all the way around and then slip stitch them closed here. I tried with a slit in here and putting the wool in that, but to me, I don't mind stitching it closed. Most times your pillows are sitting down on something, so you're not going to see if you don't do a perfect job. And to me, that's like a whole other step to, you know, pull up wool and all that kind of stuff put on the back. So that's just my choice. But yeah, we do have the rickrack, and it adds a nice little trim to that. As I'm talking about trims and things, I finished the Luminous Arts, her little Boo and Who charts, and I just finished them. I stuffed my pillows with kind of a combination of sawdust and the litter, reptile litter, the crushed walnuts, and I kind of do a little bit of both. At first I was putting fiber fill down in here, but it wouldn't stay there, so I just, yeah, kind of squish it. But for the trim around here, I know it can get very expensive and stuff to do trim, And so for the wool applique that I do, I often will just search around for some yarn. This is kind of like a chenille yarn anyways. I think I got it from the dollar store. So for this pillow, I doubled it up and then just put it around the pillow, just hand sewed it around, or you can glue it. It just, yeah, like, I mean, you can get a lot of pillows out of $1 ball of yarn. And there's lots of different chenille ones and things too. I was going to put this one on, but it was a little bit too thick for the size of the pillow. But this is just a ball of yarn too that I just got at Michael's. So yeah, it sometimes depends on the color. You can't always get the more rustic look yarn that maybe will work best for the pillow. But yeah, keep your eye out. You never know. And I've been using it for a lot of the wool applique, and it works fine. I used on the back Priscilla checks, no, Chelsea checks, Priscilla plaid, and then there's the lines. So in the shop, we carry, yeah, all of the ones. So they make cute finishes and stuff on, yeah, whether it's the Halloween, fall, Christmas. The grays are really nice. So we do carry all those in the shop, so you can check that out. So yeah, and then this is the other. So this is the Boo and the Who pillows. So yeah, that was a fun project. I like her little designs and stuff. They're cute. I tend to make right now a lot of smalls because we're just starting into cross stitch. It just would take investing too much time to make a big sampler and stuff. We're trying to get models to get people interested. Because I don't think that cross stitch is a huge thing in my area yet. A lot of my customers are interested in kind of getting into that because, yeah, maybe they've made a lot of quilts over the years and they just want something different. And the nice thing about cross stitch is you just pick it up, sit in your chair, watch TV, and away you go. So for a few St. Patrick's Day, this is Pineberry Lane. They're, what's it called? Little Shamrocks. So I've done this pillow here. I really like this girl here, but I'm trying to find a little darker fabric where the green and then the white of the dress will show up. So far I've just finished it. I'm making it into a little pillow. But that's as far as I got, and then I realized, like, oh, I think I want some trim or something along here, or buttons. So I'm just gonna look through and see what I'm going to use. So that is the little shamrock thing. The pattern too had a couple little lions or some kind of symbol for the Irish there, and I just continued on with a few of the little snowflakes, I think they are. So that's one for St. Patrick's Day. This is another pattern that we have in the shop that would be a really cute, quick finish. It's really cute with those little pom-poms down along the bottom there. So those are some St. Patrick's Day ideas. Another pattern that I finished recently is this I have a terrible memory, so you're gonna find that out, like to names, things like that. Does not stick in my head, and then you can remember the most random stuff ever. So this is called Primitive Crows. It's by Threadwork Primitives, and I just thought that was like just really cute. I love it on that key. So I've made it. It's quite tiny, but I could not find a key anywhere to fit across there. I think it's about 3 inches, and I mean, I've looked at Michael's and scrapbooking sections, and I've looked at some thrift stores, and yeah, so if anybody knows of a source where I can buy like one of those old keys, I would love that, because that's how I wanted to finish it. And this is as far as it's got. I did lace the back of this one, so I still have to put it back onto it, and just waiting to see whether I need to put some little loops to hook it onto the key. But I really like this pattern, and those are colors that normally I probably wouldn't be drawn to, but I really love that combination of colors. So that was Threadwork Primitives. What else? This was a little pillow I made in the winter. This company is from France, and I guess she's kind of the first one I reached out to as far as getting some patterns and stuff go, because I saw it on Pinterest and I loved the designs, and so I reached out to her and she sent me, or I got some for the shop. So Bunny de la Neige, French. I mean, in Canada you have to take French in school, and I took it all the way through high school, and I mean, I know that says bunny in the snow, but I really don't know much French. Yeah, just the very basic. You know, maybe if you said a word, I could tell you what it is in English, but no, I'm definitely not fluent in French. So that was one. So, and I finished it. Actually, all these little dots are supposed to be little French knots in the pattern. And I did a few and I just didn't like the looks of it. So I ended up using little seed beads in here, and that worked out really well. So then I thought, when I was done, I thought, oh, it needs something a little bit more. So I just added some beads onto here, and that was incredibly easy because you just kind of stitch, put it through your bead, stitch through, pull up, do a next bead. So I will definitely do that finish more because it kind of adds something to it, and yet it is really, really simple. So that was one pattern by them. This one I do have started. It was the first one I started. I'll put it up against this because actually I forgot to bring my board. So this is the first one I started. So it's a little bird. It's, what's it called? Fleur de carrot. Now to me that says carrot flowers. We called them Queen Anne's lace or something like that here. So I don't know if that's the same. It's actually a weed. It's not a flower. So I don't know if that's the translation or not, but yeah, just a really cute bird. I'll probably do the beads again for the snow there. I am doing a black stems through here just to get it to show up a little bit more. They do the white, but I find that it just adds a little more contrast, so I'm going to be doing that in just a back stitch with black thread. But kind of a, yeah, neat company. I'll show you a few of their other patterns that they have. I've got them all on the website. They are Creation Martine Brigade. Lots of birds, but she has literally like all kinds of patterns. So if you're interested in any of them, just let me know and I can order them in for you. So there's, you know, watering can. That one is called their Ossuar, which is probably watering can. I'm taking a guess. This is Noel Scandinavia. I thought that one was cool too, and that would look nice on kind of a block finish to put on the mantle. Yeah, so those are, I'll show you a couple more. So this one is Nuit, Winter Night. It's kind of a deer with a blue background, so yeah, just kind of pretty. It reminds me of Delft blue. And then this is another little bird with crocuses in the spring, and it is Les Pierce Neige, something snow. So those are just some of the patterns there. Yes, what else? Oh, I have so much stuff. I'm amazed at how much I've stitched just in the last months that we've kind of gotten back into yeah, getting it into the shop and stuff. Love this design. This is, oops, I'll go this way. Spring Fling by Brenda Gervais. I am doing it on Zygarde 32 count baby pink. I probably could have darkened up the linen a little bit so my white shows up. It actually shows up really good on here. I'm not quite finished. I have to do a little bit more of the stem. I may end up backstitching around the rabbit just in a light gray or something to just make it pop a little bit more, because there's a heck of a lot of stitches in that big bunny that I don't want it just to say, oh, what is it? You can't even see it. At least if I backstitch it, everyone's going to know that there's a bunny there and that I put all those stitches into there. So really cute. I mean, I love Brenda Gervais designs. I hope to carry more of hers. They're a little more difficult for me to get. But yeah, we will see. Yeah, because actually I'm going to go to Nashville. I'm leaving on Friday to the Nashville Needlework Festival, which is in Nashville, Tennessee. We were going to go to Florida for March break with our grandkids. I mean, we've gone every year since they've been born, and the oldest one is 12, 13. But they haven't been able to go for the last 3 years because of COVID. So we normally drive from here. It's like a 20-hour drive, but I don't know, for some reason we seem to be able to do it in 17 hours if it's just my husband and I, because we don't really stop for meals. We just eat in the car. So we're going down to Florida anyways for March break. So I said to my husband, like, oh, can we just make a side trip to Nashville so I can go to the festival? So I've never gone before. Don't really know a whole lot of what to expect. But I'm excited to go and see all the new releases. So if I get this uploaded, before I leave, then if there's anything you want, or if you want to put on the list for any of the new releases, just send me an email and I will, pick one up. I will pick up some anyways, and I hope to I will bring them all to Stitch North, the retreat in Brampton, the end of March to April. We're going to be meeting 260 other cross stitchers. I don't know if I mentioned that already. So yeah, I will try to bring all of that with me, so you'll get to purchase some of the new releases. So yeah, I'm excited just to see what it's all about and stuff. And then I will go down to Florida and sit in the sun with my grandkids for a week. So it'll be fun. Now I'm going to show these, and I don't know, because after I did my first floss tube, I don't know where this little guy went. Cute little patterns by the Cricut collection, and I actually stitched these two little carrot guys here, and I just love them as little ornament things to hang on the tree for Easter or even just spring in general. And they stitched up really nice, and actually doing the shape, and I did it on the, what do you call this stuff, anyway, the harder, it's not chipboard, but and it was really easy to kind of just wrap it around, and I glued it down. But actually it was quite easy to do. I need to pick up, hopefully I can pick up, here's some other patterns. Pick up, because I want to do my own trim, so I want to pick up the Kreinik thing, like the making your own cording tool. Besides getting it from Amazon, I'm sure there's other places to get it. So I'll pull it in. I don't know if it's going to show, but there's, like 4 cute little designs on there. You'll be able to see it better on the website probably. And then this one too, there's a little sunflower and little basket with spring flowers. But yeah, really cute. And when I fully finish my carrots ornaments, I will show them. I'm trying to do some things on Instagram. I'm not a techie person at all. And doing the Facebook Live and trying to post things on Facebook and that, it just doesn't come naturally. So I always overthink it too much. So I will try to post any of the finishes and stuff on Instagram too, because I know a lot of you like to check that out and see what's there. One of the reasons that I'm, kind of putting under pressure to actually get going on some of these projects was because I was going to I wanted to get this framed. Sorry, I'm distracted a little bit. Their car just pulled in. These are the Snapper by Bent Tree. So They are, I'm going to have to pause, and I didn't want to pause. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully this worked. The last time I did Flosstube, I had to stop, and I pressed stop record, so it ended up putting it in two sections of Flosstube, and I don't know how to edit. So that will come in the future. Same as like below in the description box. I'm assuming that when I get to that stage, I'll know what the description box is and how I put information there. But I will try to put, yeah, the pertinent information. If there's anything I'm showing, because I haven't really got into a lot of what linens I used and stuff, and I did put it in a booklet, and I think I might have left it in Florida when I was there a few months ago. So I got to see if I can find it, because that's where all my information is. This is something I started in 2005, and I'll slide it along. And finished in 2006. This is Bent Creek. It's a Snapperville. So these are all little dome snaps, you know, the cheapy ones that you can buy for different things. So they put the little snaps in here. When I pulled it out after all these years, because it just sat there, I lost some of the snaps, and I thought, oh, that's strange. But yeah, they're not sewn on. They were actually literally, each one is a snap. So I did end up going and gluing a little dab of glue just to keep them in place, because I'm not going to put it under glass because that doesn't work. And I didn't want my things to fall off and then it wouldn't look right. Now, for stretching this myself, we don't have a lot of framing places and things around here. And so I brought it to the framer, and he said, well, he could stretch it, but, you know, he said, if you want to give it an attempt first, it would probably be better. So he did cut some foam core for me and glue two pieces together. We figured out the size. And then I started stretching it, and like anything with a border, it's really hard to keep that straight. And I thought, okay, and I tried to follow the threads along here, pinning it, and I thought, oh, that's still not working. So I actually just sat down and ran a thread along the, what do I say, the grain of the fabric. I think you could snip and pull that thread, and that would give you a guide too, but I just took some black thread, and I just stitched all the way along there, all the way along the bottom there, and then the sides. And that made it incredibly easy to stretch and then pin. So then, yeah, then I just put a pin like every inch or less than an inch, and then stretched the sides. I also stitched those. And I just found that really worked for me. I just felt this was too big to do the lacing and stuff with. So I really wanted to try the pins. I'm going to bring it to him like this. I'm assuming he'll know how to finish it off from there. But I'm really excited to get this framed and hung up. Yeah, dig out those things out of your box and get them framed, because they're just so beautiful and there's so much work involved. So yeah, that is the time to do that. So there's patterns. There's one for each of the months of the year, and it comes, so each pattern comes with the little snaps that are pertinent for that month. And then you can buy the pattern that does the border, and then it comes with all the black snaps that kind of fit in there. So this, if you want to complete them all together, this pattern you can get also, or you can do them individually as pillows too. That would work just fine as well. I'm going to put this back in so I don't lose that. So another series that I was working on, and I thought, well, I might as well just make them into pillows now. I was going to wait till I was done all of them. This is the Little House Needleworks. They're little pillows, sheep virtues. So faith, love, hope, gentleness, faithfulness, joyfulness. So I've done a few of them. So I think this one's courage. I'll just show the patterns first. This one is Hope. It shows up better when I show the actual samples. This one is Joyfulness. And then this one is Faith. Now, hopefully I'm showing them not too quickly, but we also have lots to get through. So, so this is the Joyfulness pillow. I did it on, I don't know if this is summer khaki. I did it on 32 count. I do most things on 32 count. I think their patterns call for 30 count. That's such a minute difference that I don't think it matters. You know, on the size of the pillow, it's literally going to be like maybe 1/4 of an inch of that. So that is Joyfulness. I did finish them as pillows, and I did put little hanging things on because I'm not 100% sure how I want to, you know, whether I want to hang them up or if I'm just going to put them in a bowl. I can always just tack that down and put even a little button and keep it decorative that way. And that way I have the option of doing it both ways. So that is Joyfulness. This one is Faith. I did darken up the house, the gold on the house, because it just blended in too much with my fabric. So that is Faith. This one is Peace. And again, I should have used a whiter, I think I did this one first, a more stark white for the sheep because he kind of blends in. I guess I could have backstitched him. I didn't think about that then. And then Courage. I think this one I whitened it up a little bit. So those are the pillows. And then Shelby, who I work with, or who works, I don't want to say for me because we definitely work together. She gave me this dough bowl for Christmas. And so far I can fit all those little pillows in there and it looks super cute. So those are Little House Needleworks, the Sheep Virtue pillows. Now I've also started the farmhouse. The red, like I just want to have the perfect red for the barn, especially since my shop is a red barn. I want to kind of have the perfect red, and I've tried several and I still haven't found that one that I like. So I will show you my progress on that at some point. While we're talking about Little House Needleworks, I have started, oh, I knew this was going to happen. Oh well, I'll come across it somewhere. Because there is a new one that I've started, the Fall on the Farm, that we're kind of doing as a series. Okay, so then also for February, I saw this, some of the floss tubes that I watch. This one I saw on Kim with the Handwork Maniac, I believe is her floss tube title. And I loved it, and I loved it on the red fabric. I'm probably a more neutral background person, but I really thought this, and it was kind of a February. It's called Entwined Hearts by the Scarlet House. So I'm doing it on Aztec Red, 36 count, 2/2. Now there's definitely texture here, and I really like that. Are my threads perfect? You know, do the threads lay nicely? They're fine for me. They're not going to be museum pieces and stuff. And I just enjoy the process. And if it's not, you know, perfect as far as, you know, some people's standards as far as, you know, having those threads lay nice and flat all the way through, I think it looks great. And I definitely like the look of 2-on-2 on 36 count. I do have some 40 count. I may give that a venture sometime. But yeah, so this very pretty pattern, Scarlet House Entwined Hearts. And I thought that was just a nice Valentine's start. It's not, I mean, February's over. We're into March now. Oh, I guess I should say it's March the 2nd. It's a really nice mild day here today. We do get snow, but we don't get a ton of snow. We're called the banana belt of Ontario for sure in Canada, because we dip further south than the rest of Canada. So we do get snow, but it's usually short-lived and it's gone. And this year we haven't had much snow at all. It's been pretty quiet that way. Another project that I'm just finishing on a little bit. It's the Fourth Day of Christmas by Liz. Hello from Liz Matthews. Her 12 Days of Christmas series. I started with 4 just because I really liked that design, and I want to make it into a tree. So, well, I should say I've started making it into a tree. So this is my finish. It's not fully finished yet because I bought a piece of styrofoam to fit into here and I don't know where it went. So I've got to search that out. I didn't want to cut into my threads here, so you'll see that I have a little bit more of a little white margin there. After you've stitched all this, it's kind of nerve-wracking to cut, and then, yeah. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to cut into any of my threads. So I think once I put it on the styrofoam, and I've got the little candlestick base, I finished, I'll show you how I finished it. I just find that it just finishes it more nicely. This is, so I put a lining into it. So literally I take, I've got a backing. So one backing and then 2 other lining pieces. So I sew one of the lining pieces here, another lining piece here. Then I lay right sides together, sew all the way around and leave an opening and flip it inside out, and then it finishes all your edges. I just didn't care for the fact that the little corners weren't gonna stay tucked in, and this kind of just finishes it off really nicely. That's where it helps to be someone who sews and who's a quilter, because we're familiar with all of how to put things together and what seams to sew and how to finish it off. So I just kind of like that finish a little bit better, and it's super easy to do. Probably takes less time than getting your hot glue gun out and things. So yeah, that came together. I'd love to do the other trees. I really love her new release for geese laying. It's very cute. So I'm hoping to make, and then on my mantle, I'd love to have all 12 trees. I'm doing it on 32 count. I believe she has 36 count, and Shelby did one on 28 count. Yeah, 36 count she's got. I did it on 32 count. It just makes it slightly bigger. Shelby did on 28 count. Slightly bigger. Like, it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference in the size. And 32 counts just easier for me to work on. I can work much more quickly. So that, what do we have next? We're doing the little stockings. So I'm trying to do 1 a month. I did start with November. These are from Blackbird Designs. I did start with November and then did, this is November, and then December. Oh, shoot, I picked 2 of the same charts. Then February, I'll show them in real life. They look much better. February and March. So she's got, where are we there? Because I did the shamrock one. March. So in the pattern, there are 3 different designs. So you can choose which one you want, or you can choose all 3. And I just thought they were so cute. And so I've completed 2. So this is the December one. And there is some over 1 here, which was my first attempt at that. Same as everybody else. I don't love doing over 1, but I did get the hang of it a little bit. This is November. I just think this one, the colors and stuff are so cute. And then I did February. I'll tuck this behind. February. I just did this on a scrap piece of linen that was left over from the tree. You can see where I've cut the tree. And then I started something and thought, oh, I'm not going to have enough room. Oh, I started something else. Oh, no, I'm not going to have enough room. I'm trying to squeeze too much out of a small piece of linen. So that is February. And then this one is March with the shamrocks. Now the two colors they chose, I think it was Weeks Olive and Weeks Moss. The olive, I wasn't sure if I really liked that color, but actually when you put them together, it actually looks quite unique, and yeah, it looks nice. So I will complete the rest into stockings. I did the same thing as I did for the tree. She has where you put a backing and then you kind of stitch all the way around. I found that it worked just as well, where I did the lining, sewed here, sewed there, laid them on top of each other, sew all the way around. And then, yeah, it just finishes the top off really nice. And you just kind of tuck that in, and it gives the stocking a little bit more poofiness because you got that extra layer of fabric in there, so it actually looks like maybe there's something in there. So that was the stocking. So if anybody wants to join us, there's a few, I think there's a couple of floss tubers that are doing the series of stockings. I will try to keep notes of that and find out who they are. So that is one project that I'm continuing on. This is the other one I was talking about, the Little House Needleworks Fall on the Farm. So this is number 1, and eventually there'll be all 12 patterns. I think we're up to 3 or 4. So if anyone's interested in this series, let me know, and I will either keep all the patterns aside for you, or if you want, 3 at a time or 1 at a time and work away at it. Yeah, I can do that. And I have the Classic Colorworks thread packs that have all the threads in there that she's used for the whole series. And this is my start. So I got the little girl kind of at the vegetable stand, and I've done the border. I'm doing it on 32 count platinum. Again, most of her designs are on 30 count, but I'm doing them on 32. Such a slight difference. So that's platinum, and I'm using all the call for threads in the Classic Colorworks. So that is one project that I'm working on. Let me see. Oh, then also I was, this is Shepherd's Bush. She made some patterns where you can actually stick on these Mad About Plaid bags that you can get from Sew Emma or Lori Holt. So I do have these in stock in green, gray, and red. So I stitched on the green. So, let me find the pattern. Oh, this is it here. So this is the, no, upside down. So the pattern that she puts on there. This is when you need to read instructions. I stitched the whole thing, stitched over one of these little holes, and it only ended up being about this big, and I thought, why do they have such a small design on such a huge bag? Then I read the instructions, and I was supposed to go over 2 holes. So it takes a little bit of brain work because it's like stitching on Ada. Instead of going in each hole, you skip over and do 2 holes. So then that made it much more noticeable. Cute design. I think I used 6 strands of floss. I believe she has you use some other type of thread, and I don't have my glasses on. Pearl cotton. I just used embroidery thread. 6 strands over just to give it some fullness there. But yeah, makes for a really cute little bag. Her new release, I believe, says Heart. It's on a red bag. I'll be picking those up at market. Yeah, super cute. I also have lots of other her little designs. I'm going to show you. I have the little Easter one. There's all this scattered kindness, scatter eggs, scatter Christmas. Yeah, that whole series, I'd love to do that series. And I have done the scatter eggs one, so that'd be cute for Easter. I just have to fully finish it, and it's quite tiny, actually. So if I do more, I might look and see if I can raise the count of the fabric so that's a little more distinct. One other thing that we're working on, Helen D. from, Helen D. Flosstube. She is doing, showing some tutorials and things on doing the Erica Michaels strawberries, or the berries, I should say. Yeah, they're supposed to look like strawberries. So the spring, summer, fall, and winter. So we had already done some of the berries, and so we thought, oh, it would be fun to kind of follow along and do them as well. So I have stitched all the, so that was the spring, and so I have stitched all the pieces. So this is hop into spring. So that is one. This is the spring, or spring is sprung. And then, is it spring yet? So this one I've done on summer khaki. It is 32 count. So on Erica Michaels patterns, she often the berries, she'll do 2 out of 32 and 1 out of 36. I'm doing them all the same so that they kind of match the bowl. So I'm doing them all on 32 count. This one is Zygarde Cream, I believe, 32 count. And then this one is Willow Green by Zygarde. I don't know if it helps. It makes it a little bit better to put it behind. So that's Hop into Spring on Willow Green. Super fun. Shelby has made a few of the strawberries. So this is actually the Lucky, I think it's called, or Good Luck little berry. This is her top. So yeah, super cute. And I think she stuffed it with the crushed walnuts. But they're just really fun to make. They're one of those addictive things again that once you make one, you have to have more. So, and then this is the autumn one. So Shelby is stitching the autumn one. So we'll show you those once we get going. So if you'd like to get kits from me, I am not necessarily using the same fabrics. I'm trying to find for each season 3 colored linens that kind of work well together and work well with the designs and the threads, the colors and stuff. And then since we dye our own wool for wool applique, we'll probably be doing something a little different for our tops and that too. We'll still follow the same design, but our colors may end up being, especially for summer and winter, we might make ours a little more rustic. Hers, some of them are a little bit bright, and I think that we might change that up a little bit. So keep an eye on what our samples, our models are looking like. And if you like that look, then yeah, let us know and we'll kit it up for you and send it on its way. Are some other ones of hers. So you can find all these on my website. I have a lot of patterns on my website. So if you got a certain designer you like, let me know because I can always get them in. But I have a wide variety of charts. And then this is the one that Shelby did. And then she's also done the Christmas, which I will show you at some point. I will actually have her on Flosstube with me sometime so that she can show some of the work. She actually, when I said that I was going to get into cross stitch, she said, I don't know how to cross stitch. And I said, well, you don't need to. I know what, I can handle it. And so she went home like anything else and she taught herself how to cross stitch, and she's been cross stitching up a storm since then. So definitely, got right into it and loves it and finds that, she likes to sit and stitch away. Let me see. Since we carry fabric and some cross stitchers make their own fabric or design their own fabric, we do have the pretty well the whole line of the Teresa Kogut for the Love of Nature fabric in. So I'll just show you a couple of the prints. So I hope to make a project bag, and we're busy making a quilt, or we'll make a quilt out of it in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to try to film in different areas and kind of see with lighting, and I might do like the 2 tall stitchers do and put a quilt behind me of new ones that we have in the shop that we have kits and patterns for, and just some interesting ones that I've done over the years, and use that as my backdrop. So these, yeah, are just some of the fabrics. I've seen that some people already have project bags made out of them. So yeah, if you like to make your own project bags but don't know where to get the fabric, I do have the whole line. The only thing I didn't get was the panel. My shop just doesn't do well with panels, and so we're making, yeah, a quilt that a lot of the prints are fairly not large, but medium size. So you do have to find a pattern that uses more big chunks of blocks, and so that's what we're doing for that. What else? I think I've pretty well gone through. Oh, I was going to show a couple of wool applique things. So I do design some patterns for wool applique. So I need your opinion on this one. So this one I had designed at the beginning of COVID, the pandemic, just because I thought it was really cute because it says you need a hug. And I gave her, like, she's got a little 3D braid. I thought that was super cute. But I'm not thrilled with the writing so much. So I don't know if it's a font I used or if it would be cuter to put you need a hug kind of around here in a different kind of writing, or leave that out altogether. But I just thought, yeah, it was just a nice, cute design at the time. Yeah, you couldn't hug anybody, and so I just thought it would, it's kind of neat just to have it sitting there or give away as a gift. I have this on a little stand, which also works out really well for cross stitch. You can find these on my website. They are harder to, I don't know if I've got it marked that I can actually ship these, but I can always give you a price and what it would cost to ship. It does come silver, so I did spray paint it black. And I just used magnets, so I've got some magnets on the back here and the other part there, and because it's metal, and that way I can interchange it on there, and yeah, put some different designs and things. So that one is called You Need a Hug. This is another one I had designed a little while ago. I just had to make some more kits up. It's a His Eyes on the Sparrow, so if anybody knows that tune, that hymn, His Eyes on the Sparrow, I know he watches over me. So this is wool applique on wool, and I have it on a little Ackford stand as well. So this is just one of the wool applique designs that I have. I have a million and one ideas in my head, and I have some started. It's just sitting down and writing the pattern that I find the most, not difficult so much for wool applique, but just doing it. I'd much rather stitch and think up new designs. But you can check my website. I have a whole series of pillows called the Blessing series. Yeah, just lots of other little things besides just cross stitch. But I will focus mostly on cross stitch. I'm hoping to do these videos to kind of show you what's new, how it looks as a, actually stitched out, and to kind of promote that part of the cross stitch in my shop, and so that it's readily available for everyone, and just kind of to show yeah, my progress and keep me on track as far as finishing, because like anything, I love doing the stitching. The finishing isn't always my favorite part, but once I get going, then it's like, oh, I'm on a roll, and then I can just really get going. And I've got lots of other ideas and stuff for finishing. So hopefully I can give you some hints and different things along that way. So if you like what you've seen and are, would like to see what else, please subscribe. And I know they say ring the bell and things like that. I have subscribed to some other floss tubers. I really like, of course, like everyone, Brenda and the Serial Starter, Mama Loves You, GB, Two Tall Stitchers, Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Like I said, the Stitchuation Normal, Kathleen was very helpful to me, and I will see her at the Stitch North retreat. Off the Grid Needle Arts with Evertote and Caroline. That's another Ontario one. Helen D I've mentioned. Yeah, like there's just so many. And so I usually have my computer, my laptop on my lap, and as I'm stitching, I'll watch some floss tubes. I just love seeing all the stuff and all the samplers. It's great. So until next time, yeah, if there's anything I should be doing differently, just let me know. But otherwise, we will see you next time. Bye.